Hey, 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 everyone. It's Chalkin History with Shelly Kallach. We are live. Say hello if you see that red live box at the top of the screen, then you are watching live. I'm going to actually, I like this version better. All right, let's get, oops, there we go. Let's get that screen right. I tend to look at this camera more than I tend to look at the other camera. So we're changing our views. Say hello, hop on, grab a little beverage, perhaps a martini. Who likes martinis? If you like a martini, give me a thumbs up or a heart. Okay, let's make sure we're live. I think we are. Tend to look at this camera more than I tend to look at the other camera. And there's my voice again. All right. Let's see. How's everybody doing tonight? It's Tuesday night. We're good to go. Tonight we're going to be using the extra dirty transfer. It is another Tiffany transfer. My daughter saw that one and she said, ooh, I want that. So it is a gift for her, my oldest, and I'm going to use it two different ways tonight. First time we use it, we're going to put it on one of our 9 by 12 or 9.5 by 12.5 outside the box refills. However, this side is no longer in stock. Size is no longer in stock. We do have other ones in stock, but not this size. But you could use any of our 9 by 12 surfaces. It'll look extra cute on any of those. And then we're going to ink a couple of the natural placemats. I thought, I don't know if she'll use it as a placemat, or honestly, you could use it as a cute little tea towel if you fold it in thirds, and then half. If you just have a cute little spot to have a little tea towel, it's burlap, so it doesn't really do any drying per se, but it'll be just a cute little accent that she'll have close by. So I figured we'd do that. Or she could use them. It depends on where I put the olives. If I put them, maybe on a corner, it would be a cute little, a little placemat. So we'll see when we get to that part. But for now, we're going to do it on this sign. If you look at the links in the description of the video, there is a link to everything I'm using today, except of course this board, but we do have something very similar to it, and it's called the hanging sign, and it has the 2 holes in it. So I'm not quite sure if she's gonna hang it like with some type of a pretty like rope or twine, or sometimes she just puts a lot of those command strips on the back of stuff when she hangs her stuff. So I'm not going to put a hole in it until she tells me to put a hole in it. But like I said, in the link there are the hanging signs that you can get already with the holes in it. All right. First things first, extra dirty. I do not like martinis. That is just straight vodka. I need my drinks to be just sweet and fruity and fun. I like all those kind of drinks, like your vacation tropical drinks. Those are the ones I like to drink, but they take too much effort to make. So whenever I'm on vacation, then I get myself a cute little drink. All right. First things first, let's go ahead and Now I moved a ton of stuff around. Here it is. I was gonna say, where's my wax? I need my wax. I'm gonna wax our board. So again, this is the 9.5 by 12.5 outside the box refill. So one side was the white and then one side was the dark brown. I'm gonna do it on the dark brown side. I know it will look awesome on the white side, but we're gonna try it on the dark stained wood side. Nonetheless, I have to wax it either way. I don't have to. I prefer to wax when I'm working on wood surfaces. I'm just going to take a paper towel and then we're going to kind of get it on there. We're just going to spread it on our wood sign here. Ooh, I got some on under my nail. A little bit more. Okay. We're just going to kind of smear it around. So you can pick it up to see it kind of goes on dull, right, as you're applying it. All right, and this is the wood of the grain. Okay, the wood grain, the direction. I'm going to go against the wood grain to really work it in there. It'll kind of help us even out the surface, the level, you know, make it a little more level for us. Okay, we'll just kind of turn this the other way, get it buffed, and you can tell when it's really working into the wood because it gets nice and slippery or real smooth. If you feel resistance, then you still have a good amount of wax sitting on top here. But I think it's pretty good. It feels slippery to me, and you can see that sheen kind of pop up too. All right, let's turn it right back. We're just gonna run our finger over an edge. If that doesn't work, we try another edge. Sometimes, I guess, is what it's the transfer is kind of just hanging over just a little bit. All right, and because we waxed, we do not have to fuzz our transfer. Okay, that wax helps with an easy release. All right. So there's no need. So I'm just going to kind of tack it down here. We're going to make sure it's nice and straight and not crooked and somewhat centered. I'm going to move it up just a teeny tiny smidge. Just a teeny tiny smidge. Okay. Looks straight to me. Let me make sure before I push it down. Looks pretty good, guys. Looks good. Okay, so we're just going to kind of rub that down. Once we get it down, I'm going to take another look at it just to make sure that it doesn't look crooked. Sometimes it's not you. Sometimes it's the transfer. Like sometimes it just got printed crooked. So I always want to make sure that it's going to look correct. Okay. We're going to work ourselves out to, or in to out. Let's see, we're going to start with Ivy. That is one of our new in vogue colors. Look at that yummy, yummy green. Maybe I'll do actually... I'm actually going to start with Candy Apple. So we have a couple different reds. We have Candy Apple, which is out of stock at the moment, coming soon. And we also have a cherry. The cherry is a little bit of a deeper red. Whereas the candy apple is, oh, I don't know how to describe it. It almost has just the slightest like orangey color to it. Does that make sense? Like a salmon-y. So I don't know. I feel like when I look at these types of green olives, this is the color of the pit. So we're going to do that first. I'm just taking a little teeny cut up squeegee here. Honestly, this may be even too big for this little area. So I'm going to try to stay right on that pit, or the stuffed part. Who likes stuffed olives? My husband likes the blue cheese stuffed olives. My dad used to love them. Every time he came over, we would make him a virgin Bloody Mary, but we always gave the blue cheese stuffed olives. He loved them. Absolutely loved them. I do not like blue cheese at all. Ugh, gross. That is just, I can't stand the smell. And I do not like the taste of blue cheese. You know, sometimes I'll get like buffalo chicken for a meal, and if I don't say no blue cheese crumbles or no blue cheese dressing, oh, that just ruins it for me. Who else feels that way? Anybody else, or is it just me? Is it just me? All right, so we're gonna have that on there. Okay. We're gonna put that aside because we're gonna need that again. I'm gonna try to find let's see. I think I'm gonna go with our multi-tool here. I feel like I got a lot of red still sitting there, so I want to get a little bit more of that off. Let's get that excess off. There, I think that's better. And honestly, I'm going to do the paste and pool. When I like to take my time, and when I'm kind of switching colors a lot, I will definitely do the paste and pool, because I don't want that getting dried up in my silk screen. I want it on my surface and not in the silk screen, okay? So let's give that a quick shot of hot air or warm air. What I like about our dry tool is that it doesn't get overly hot like regular hot air guns. Okay, like when you're embossing paper and that kind of thing, if you're a card maker, or using embossing powder, you need a higher temp to make that melt. Okay, so I like that ours doesn't do that. And I'm gonna go ahead and just press down everywhere where I haven't done yet. We're not gonna press down on the red because that's done. We don't need to do it again. All right, now we can come in and do our fun little olives. I'm gonna go around the pick. I'm just kind of taking my time, going around the red. You want to make sure you don't get your green in your red because it will still transfer. I'm going to unload a little bit of that. I like to move my project around too, especially if I'm trying to get around little areas. Okay. Try to get off some of that excess here. All right, we can bring it over here. Now we can pick up some more. Also trying to avoid that stick that's in the middle, because we're going to make that a different color. I think I'm going to make that white. I would do like a tan color, like camel, but I think that would be, it would blend in too much with the color of the board. So I think I'm going to do white. Thought about black. Black is an option too. And then what we'll do is we'll do the paste and peel at this point too, since we're kind of taking our time here. Okay, try to get that excess off. All right, let's go ahead and peel that up again. Ooh, look at our olives. They're coming together. It's starting to look very real. Let's get those dried up. How cute are those olives? Doesn't take long to dry, just kind of give it some warm air. And like I said, it doesn't get too overly hot, so that's good, because we don't want to burn it either. Okay, so let's just let that fall where it may. Make sure we put down everywhere we haven't chalked. I am going to come in here without dragging green, because you want to make sure all those edges are down, right? Because when you go to chalk where we haven't chalked yet, there's going to be, if you don't press down, there would be air pockets, okay? And then that leads to just trouble. Then you just have that paste underneath making a mess. I'm even gonna put this down and just watch my fingers, okay? I'll decide later about what I'm gonna do. I think maybe I'll do black for the stick, but for now I'm gonna do the words extra and dirty. So let's grab black. And you could do whatever color you want. Let's say you're putting it in your kitchen or your bar, go ahead and go with whatever colors are in your home. Or if you're gifting it for somebody, let's say somebody has a martini bar or something like that. This would be perfect, and then just coordinate it with their color scheme. Thought about doing also this outside part black. So I'm still contemplating that too. I was gonna do red like the sample, but I might do black. Just because she doesn't really have red in her place. My daughter, that is. That's who I'm making this for. She does have dark green, so maybe I'll switch it over to the dark green. And that, like I said, that'll make sense for her. All right, let's do the black in here. And then again, we will do a paste and peel. This little squeegee is just a mini squeegee cut into a little strip. And then when we go to ink, we will definitely have to wash our transfer. We're going to want to get all that paste off. And then we'll be able to use our ink. Okay. All right. And we're going to do a nice big pool here. Oh my goodness, look how fun that looks. She's going to love it. She is going to love it. I asked her if she wanted it on a t-shirt, and she said she wanted it as a print. So I said, okay, but I didn't have this size, I didn't have a small size canvas, so this will do. And I think she's gonna love it. Definitely think I'm going to do the green border though. Just because that'll definitely work better in her space. So I'm just going to lay that down. I don't care about anything else being flattened except for this outer little border here. All right, so again, you just want to make sure you have that down because it will form air pockets. I can see them as I'm kind of pushing the transfer down. Okay, so you don't want air pockets. All right, let's get some of that ivy. Again, this is one of our new En Vogue colors. It's a great green. This will be good for St. Patrick's Day. This will be good for Christmas, Thanksgiving, you know, fall projects, any kind of just general everyday type florals. It's just a really good all-around green. All right, so I'm just going over, I'm applying it and then I'm taking off any excess. And then just kind of using that excess as we go around. And then like I said, I'm not going to punch a hole or anything like that to hang it unless she tells me she wants something like that. Because she normally likes to just use command strips, so I'll let her decide. All right, we are done. Here comes the wow, you guys. Oh, I love it. Oh my gosh, that turned out so cute. So cute. Let's get that dry. What do you guys think? Isn't that cute? Plus you can always try to find a frame that'll go around it. It's 9.5 by 12.5. So maybe a 10 by 13. That would look good around it. If she wanted to frame it. Otherwise, I really believe she's just going to hang it as is. All right, I see a couple spots where I'm just going to use this. I see a couple spots where maybe it didn't go through the screen. So I'm just going to put a teeny tiny bit on the edge of my tool here. I'm going to hit the corner. I'm just going to fill that in. Fill in wherever I feel like it should have been filled in. And then we'll give it one last dry. Got that one. Got that one. Flatten that one out. All right. All right, let's get those little spots dry. No, this is for my oldest daughter. Hello, Susan. How are you tonight? I actually made, and it's real close to me. Remember the one that said let's see. Something about our martinis might be dirty, or the house might be dirty, or I can't remember now. I have to go look at it. Can't remember the saying. That one's dry. And here's this one. All right, I think I'm just gonna chip away a little bit of that. Perfect. Let me go get that other one. They would go together. Ooh, a chocolate amaretto. Oh, that sounds yummy. See, that's my kind of drink. Here it is. Remember this one, you guys? Our house may be dirty, but so are the martinis. I should just give that to her so they match. That was fun to make too. I'm gonna have to get that recipe. You're gonna have to figure that one out. Go back to that restaurant. All right, so here's our sign. Extra dirty. Now we're going to go ahead and clean our transfer so that we can ink. So we have to wet our transfer. You can do this under your kitchen sink. I love doing, I actually prefer it in the sink, but I don't mind doing it here on my mat either, because it does clean fairly easy. All right, so we just wet it. We're going to let that sit. I'm going to kind of clean up while that sits for a minute. Now you have me salivating for that drink. Okay, let's take all these dirty squeegees, close up our paste nice and tight. We do want them to be airtight. All right, I get a wipe. And the first pass over is just to get all that excess paste that we may not have already gotten off when we were originally chalking. Turn it over, and then I'm just going to do a quick little wipe over. This is the sticky side, so I'm just gently rubbing it. All right, we're going to turn it back over, and I need to go get my board eraser, so give me one quick moment. Get it wet. All right. Let's get this flat. And I'm just going to rub it over. You can see it starts to pick up a lot of that paste. This, yes, is a board eraser. Okay, look how dirty. Wipe my space down a little bit, and then I'm going to flip it, and then we're going to do the back side. Because when you paste, it does push the paste or ink to the back side of your transfer. So it does sit in the mesh on the back side as well. All All right, we want to make sure it gets nice and clean. Oof, look at all that. You don't realize how much is still sitting on your transfers. All right, look how much cleaner that is. Still a little stained, but I am not worried about that right now because after I'm done with inking, then I will take it over to my sink and we'll give it a nice good washing. All right, let's get another wipe. Very good. All right. Oh, my hands are dirty. All right, I'm just taking a paper towel and we're wiping the top side, the non-sticky side. Just trying to get all that moisture off of the top of it. And then we're going to turn it over and we're going to also do that to the back side. So I'm going to flip it and just gently glide your paper towel, oops, over. That will help get it dry. Here comes the fun part. We're going to wave it in the air like we just don't care. You can see already it's back to its stickiness. So even though I did fuzz it, but I put it on a waxed board, it does come back to its original stickiness, if not even more sticky. All right. And then when you're using your transfers with ink, we don't want also to fuzz because we really want it to stick to our textile and not move. So let's see, here's the tag. So if we were to use this as a little tea towel, again, you could fold it in thirds, right? You wouldn't use it as a towel because it is burlap. It's not going to be a very, it's not really going to take in the moisture. But if you were going to do that, you could put like one of the olives here. That would be kind of cute. Let me get one of my ink mats. Did you see we now have a smaller size ink mat, which I absolutely love. Okay, it comes with a little protective sheet. And this will just keep our project in place. So I think let's just get this on here and then we're going to figure this out. All right, so then you can just kind of press it down so it's nice and flat. And then we're going to bring this over. So the placemat's kind of small to use the entire transfer. So I was just thinking I was going to use the olives. There's my little barky boy upstairs if you hear him. How do I want to do this? Let's do, I think I'm going to put it in like a corner. So I think I would kind of, there's a little edge stitching here on the placemat. So we're going to put it close to that, a little above that. All right, so I think we're going to do it there. Again, make sure you get that really pressed down really, really well. Because now this is an ink product, so you don't want that to run. This, I may have to move it up just a little bit because it's right on that edge, and I really want that olive to get a nice, good print. So we're going to go right about there, I think. And we can kind of move it over. Okay. That's better. All right, that's much better. My goodness, barky, barky. All right, now I have black velvet ink, I have candy apple ink, and I have shimmer forest ink. This is one of our new inks. We don't have a nice, real dark green ink. Not yet anyways. So I'm gonna get a couple more cut up squeegees here. And I'm going to use this guy again. So I'm gonna wipe him off real quick because we're gonna use that for the middle of the olives. Oh my goodness, woof, woof, woof. He's my little guard dog, or so he thinks. All right, now this is a permanent ink. I'm gonna open it up to the side here so I don't splash. Because gosh forbid you don't want it to splash on your surface. If for some reason you were to get it outside somewhere where you wouldn't want it, I immediately usually will dab it like with a wipe. I'll get it wet, extra wet, and I just start dabbing, and I could usually most times get it out. But you don't want it to sit. If you don't want it somewhere, do not let it sit. All right, let's pick up a little bit of ink. And then we're just gonna color in this part of the olive. The only thing about this little multi-tool, the tip on here, it's like a 1/4 inch squeegee. So it's pretty tiny. So you can't really put a whole lot of paste or ink on it. Okay, there's that. And then also with our inks, they don't dry fast, okay? So they recommend that you let them air dry overnight. Or another technique is to get out your dryer, your quick dry tool, and you can dry it that way. It will not heat set it that way, but you can get it to dry that way before you can heat set it. Or you can take, a hot air tool, and some people have said that will work with heat setting it, but I still like to get my press out, and you can use your iron or heat press, whatever you guys have. And then just press it and it's good to go. It won't go anywhere. You can wash it and dry it. It doesn't crack. It doesn't feel hard. which is really nice. I really like our ink. It doesn't feel rough when it's dry and set. You can add something called a puff additive to it to make it like a puffy paint, so that when you heat set it, it gets puffy. That's really fun to play with. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. All right, let's get our olives. Green, shimmer forest. Okay, this is an ink. I'm gonna kind of mix it around a little bit. Now this is interesting having a shimmer in it because it feels kind of thick. This is intriguing. I wonder how this will dry and heat set. I don't think I've ever used a shimmer ink yet. I think we have it in a shimmer pucker. That's that yellow. So same kind of gist here. You kind of apply it and then get off your excess. No reason to leave it sitting there. Especially ink. Once you've pushed it through that paste, the mesh, it's there. It hits that fabric and it is good to go. All right. You do want to get your excess off though. Let's do this olive. We'll just have to do the little pick and we'll be all done. Getting there. All right, let's get some of that excess off. This is going to be interesting. I can't wait to see how this dries. Okay. All right, take that off. And then we're just going to do the sticks. So I think we're going to go with a black one again. Let's get this open. I'm going to go ahead and clean the red ink off. And then we can use the black. So close. Maybe on the other one I should do the words extra dirty. That would be a fun little set, wouldn't it? I meant to go live yesterday with this project. However, of course, life got in the way and I couldn't because my husband saw my daughter this morning, who I'm going to give this to, so we'll have to make sure we give it to her the next time we see her. She's gonna love it. I can't wait to see what she thinks. Cannot wait. I don't know if I'll send her a picture or what. Or if I'll just share the video with her and say, oh my gosh, watch this. And then see what she says. All right, all done there. All right, let's pull it. So when you're inking too, you could pull it slowly just to see if you miss some spots where it looks like I might have. The green glitter is, it's interesting, guys. It's thick. It's really, really thick. So let's see, where did we miss a couple spots here? It looks like around the edges. And maybe I'm not pressing hard enough. That could be too. Yeah, it looks like the shimmer just, you know, shimmers in general, right? I always say, you really got to work it into that mesh because sometimes it is stubborn. Stubborn, stubborn. I just don't want to get it in the red. I'm afraid I'm going to just get a little crazy and not realize where I'm at here. I don't know if you guys can hear me like kind of scratching it, but that's the shimmer that's in there. It's got a very scratchy substance in there. Okay, that one looks better. Better. Okay, the bottom. All we gotta do is the bottom and we should be okay. Really work it in that mesh. Oh, one more spot right here. There we go. I think that's good. One more little spot here. Okay. Oh my gosh, how fun is that? That's cute. I'm making a mess here. Okay, definitely check fingers like when you're pulling stuff off of your surfaces because you don't want to accidentally get that ink anywhere else. Okay, look how cute that is. Oh my gosh. Cute, cute, cute. All right, so we can go ahead and word to the wise, our ink mats do not like high heat, okay? So I will just kind of start drying this. I'm going to take it off of the mat. Do that. Okay. Take it off the mat a little bit. Then if you want, since it's off the mat, we could use our high heat. Our ink mats don't like the high heat, and our self-healing mats that I'm working on don't like the heat. They start to warp. So just be careful. But I just want to get this starting to dry. And it's just kind of blowing away on me here. There we go. And then what we'll do is once it's nice and dry, we'll give it a little, hit it with the heat press, and it'll be all set to go. Okay, like it's already dry. Okay, easy peasy. So we're just going to set this one aside while we work on the other one. How cute are those going to be? All right. Let's do this mat back. And you can see it did bleed through a little bit. So we're going to wipe that up because we don't want to put a nice clean surface down on that. So we're just going to wipe that up. It is water soluble, so you can wipe that up. I'm going to get another wipe so I don't ruin this other placemat. Checking fingers too. I feel like I get it all over me. All right, so the next one I think is going to say extra dirty. So I wonder if I'll do it like on a corner. I'll say extra. I'll do this corner and say extra dirty or extra dirty. That's what we'll do. I think that'll be cute. So I'm just going to put it down on my ink mat here. Okay, lay it flat. Tuck it under there. So we're going to say extra dirty. I'm going to do dirty first, I think. Extra dirty. Let's see, do I want the A to go by the D or no? I don't think so. Okay. And this one, let's see, I might just do all in black, honestly. I'm gonna make this come out here. Make that nice and flat. Because the words are in black. I think I'm just gonna do it in black. Okay, so let's get a squeegee for that. Okay, get some ink. And we're just gonna go straight across. Extra dirty. Grab some more. Doesn't take much. I'm not grabbing a whole lot out of my jar. And if you do have too much, then you just put it back, right? After you take off your excess, you just put it right back. Drag that squeegee. All right, let's take that off slowly just to see. And again, look for dirtiness on your fingers. I don't know how it happens, but it does. think those little spots are in there. Let me look at the board. Yeah, those little spots are in there already, so we're good there. Okay, and now we're going to do the word extra. I don't think, yeah, we'll do it right up to it. Trying to give it the same space that we did before. Again, you really want to make sure it's nice and flat against your surface. I'm going to try not to let that fall on the D, since that's pretty wet still. Okay, let's grab some black. This is our ink. It is a permanent product. My little guy upstairs, he's just yapping away. Ruff, ruff, ruff. Anybody else got a yapper? He has Cavalier King Charles in him. He has a little bit of poodle in him, and he literally has 3% of Chihuahua in him. But I really feel like he's sometimes 100% Chihuahua. He's a little stinker. There we go. Ooh, I think that's good. I love it. I think that's fun. That's fun. Now, we actually have, I was going to say, she has that martini transfer that maybe there's a tiny little olive. Let me go look. I'll be right back, you guys. Let me go see if that'll fit in there. I think it might. I think it might. You guys, I think this might work. This little guy right here, don't you think he might work there? So cute. Again, another Tiffany transfer. She came out with a lot of fun ones, I'll tell you what. She's pretty good at that. All right, let's do this. Scissors. Do I not have scissors? I have to go get scissors. My goodness, how do I not have scissors? All right, let's cut this one here. This one's called 5 o'clock somewhere. Fun is that going to be? Let's get this black dried up a little bit, and then we'll be able to put that transfer down. Let's pull it off. Because again, it doesn't like heat, so I'm going to pull that over there. Let's get this somewhat dry. And then we can do that extra little teeny olives. That's the perfect touch. Perfect little touch. Okay. There. Okay. Let me bring this back over because it did go through. So just watch. You definitely want to use some kind of protection, especially if you're doing t-shirts or that kind of thing. If it's a really thin textile, it will go through. Okay. It will most definitely go through. Oh my goodness gracious, dog. Okay. I love that we can wash these too. That's always a plus. All right. I'm just going to kind of put this guy down. Although it's wet now, so let's find a dry corner here. See if that'll stick. Okay. All right. Let's bring that little transfer over. See how I want that to lay. Do that. No. Okay. And this is so teeny tiny. We have to be really careful with our inks here that we don't get it on a spot that we don't want it. Actually, I might use this for the centers. That's what I might do. Our multi-tool, I'll tell you what, it has a lot of great uses. Okay. I'm just going to dot that, and then I'm going to take whatever was on there off, and then I'm going to come back and just kind of press it. Press it in there, because you can't really take the excess off, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to kind of just press it in there. Then this side I think we'll use for the green. So let's get some of the green. Now this might be a little more difficult just because it's such a small little martini olive. Really try to press that through. Just kind of pouncing it on at this point just to get it on there. We're going to have to do that little stick. The little pick, I guess they call them, right? Okay. Let's kind of try to dab that off. And then we're just going to use this too for the black. Just putting very little on this one because there's barely anything to that. Pick up a little bit more. right, let's see how we did, guys. Oh my gosh, it turned out too cute. That's perfect. That just works just right. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, I'm gonna clean up because, again, it's an ink, it's permanent. So I don't want anything to drip or accidentally touch anything. And we'll put our inks back. Take this guy back. Put our red back. Okay. Those are dirty tools. Let's take this off. That kind of went through a little bit here. Let's wipe that up. Okay, we're gonna put this aside. I'll wipe this up real quick. What do you guys think? I think this turned out to be so cute, and I really, really think she's gonna love it. I will definitely let you know how much she loved it. I'm gonna make her take a picture of wherever she puts it. Okay, this one's clean. Trying to see how this laid on there. Sometimes you can see like a little bit of the design. Kind of like this. That came nice and clean. This dry a little bit, and then we're gonna heat set everything. My gosh, those little olives are so cute. I think she's gonna love it myself. So tell me, do you like your martinis extra dirty? Do you like them dirty? Do you like them not dirty? I don't like them at all, so I am good with that. All right, let's get this guy heat set here. Turn on my guy here. Oops. Okay. All right, while that's heating up, we're gonna get a sheet of parchment paper, or if you have Teflon sheets, you can use that as well. But you're gonna wanna cover that because just in case it is wet, you don't wanna get your heat press or your iron full of the ink. Mine are pretty dry, so I'm not too worried about it. Also, if you are going to use just a regular old just a regular iron, those have holes on the bottom of it, whereas a press is just a solid plate. So make sure you're moving it around so that you don't get scorch marks, because sometimes where those holes are, it might send out a blast of hot air, and I don't want you to ruin your projects that you've so lovingly made, right? Okay, we're gonna let that get up to heat. Does anyone have any questions? Like I said, there are links in the subject or in the description of the video that will load, or it'll pop up on your screen if you click on it, and it'll show you all the items we used today. And then you can say add all to cart, or you can just select whatever you want to the cart. in case you need more squeegees or you didn't have a certain ink or a certain paste color. You can do that. If your order comes to $75 subtotal, then you unlock the opportunity to get the color of the month, which is that marigold, which is beautiful. This is the marigold. It's a really pretty yellow, yellowish orange. I see. So did you know when a color, like on crayons, when it would say red, orange, or yellow, green, when it had two colors in the name, the second color in the name was what color family it is, if I remember correctly. So if this is like a yellow orange, this is more in the orange family than it is in the yellow family. Pretty sure that's what I learned a long time ago. I could be wrong. I could be remembering that incorrectly. I might have it backwards, but all right, we're gonna put that on there, hit start. We're gonna apply a little pressure. We're just heat setting it here for 60 seconds, and then I'll flip it over and heat the other side. I'm using also a heat press underneath my surface, my placemats. Again, this is our mat. It's a self-healing mat is what they call it. In case you get cut into it, it seams together nicely. It doesn't actually heal itself. They just call them self-healing because it is the appearance that it heals itself. They don't like to be heated up, and our ink mats don't like to be heated up. So you have to have some kind of a barrier, which is my pressing pillow. All right, let's put this down for a minute. And we're gonna flip her over. And now that is pretty dry, pretty much heat set. But I'm gonna go ahead and feel like it's a little stretched out here, or shrunk, one or the other. Okay, let's get this. And we'll put that there. After we're done with this one, we'll heat press the other one, and then we'll be all set to go. This will be able to go into the wash, like I said before. Wash and dry with no problem at all. I have my temp at 300. If you know what your temperature, like if you know what kind of fabric you're working with, like this says, it would help to put my glasses on. This says 55% cotton, 45% linen. So according to whatever manufacturer settings, I would go with that. But for the most part, I usually will use 300, 305. Heat set for about a minute on each side, and you should be good to go. That one's done. Let's get the other guy done. It's pretty much dry, but I'm going to go ahead and still protect. I'll get this guy on here. Set that for a minute. Flip it over and do it for another minute, and we are all done. Sometimes I wiggle it, I kind of move it around just because I don't want to scorch my project, just in case I have it set too high. I don't feel like I do. I guess I just get antsy and I have to move it around. You know, when you're taught how to iron clothes, you were always told, Don't just leave it sitting still, especially if you're doing like a work shirt or something. You never want to just have your iron sit still. You will not be wear that shirt ever again if you burn it. All right, let's take that off. We're gonna flip her down again, 60 seconds, and then we're almost done. I really think she's gonna love it. I do. Can't wait to see her reaction when I give it to her. I don't know when I'm going to see her again though, so I should just send it to her in the mail. Be a nice little happy mail for her. We're down to almost 20 seconds. These are our burlap or natural, we call them our natural placemats, but I thought she could use them as a little tea towel. Honestly, it's going to be more of a just a decor type display piece. She won't use it as an actual towel. But how cute is this? Oh my gosh, so cute. So you got that with the olives. Got this one that says extra dirty. Let's see. I can fold this one in half. That's that one. Cute, cute, cute. And then we made the sign with paste. Extra dirty. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at that. How fun are those? Oh my gosh, so these transfers are so versatile. I hope you were able to see that tonight. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Otherwise, check out all the links in the video description, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.